I would love to open a meadery here in Madison. I think that mead is one of the beverages that is, because of how expensive honey is and the time it takes as much time to make a mead as it does, say, a red wine, a couple of years generally to have things ferment properly and then age. And so mead is, I think, one of the more, it's the oldest, but it's probably the most underappreciated beverages. There's a lot of good meaderies that are starting up. One in Wisconsin is White Winter. They do good work. Another one is, I forget where they're located, but it's Bee Nectar has just started out. They distribute here in Madison. But for the most part, anything else is pretty terrible. Oh, Colorado actually has a number of good meaderies, but for the most part, mead can be done very, very poorly. Depending on, if it's low quality honey, you get a low quality product. So it'd be great to do a Madison honey, do a an urban meadery, I think, and a local meadery, I think, could be really unique.
Well, first of all, to go back even a little further to the West Coast, where I'm from, I was in oceanography school, and I was a home brewer because I had spent time in Germany in the military. I was in Bavaria for 18 months, and I worked for a general, so I could travel around and try everybody's beers. I was drinking in Belgium in 1968, and believe me, some of those guys have changed, just like a lot of Germans have changed what they make. Well, anyhow. After oceanography, I went to UC Davis, and then from there, I had a variety of job offers. And one was to come out here and brew for Pabst. And I had to think about that because I had no clue about coming to the Midwest, I'm a beach kid. And so I decided to do that. And, at Pabst, I was still home brewing when I was working at Pabst. At Pabst, we were doing 12-hour days, 7 days a week, 84 hours right through summer, no time off, and no one can say anything about that. You lose your job probably. Well, at any rate, after a year and a half, I about had it with them. I lasted a little over 4 years, and I was telling them what this and that. The family of Pabst was my couching of what I thought they should be doing, and I came back. I was on TV with Joe Meal, the then supposedly brewmaster. So we were trying to bring back on decker. Then the corporate guys got in charge of everything there to milk the cow, so to speak. And they nixed the on decker thing to go to Summerfest. I said, well, it isn't bright enough. I said, it's an opaque cup that's delicious European style beer, and everyone was saying the stuff was double thumbs up, but they nixed the whole thing after all this money we invested, saying it cost too much to filter all malt European style beer. And I said, well, you guys are in for it, because that's what's going to be happening coming down the pipe,
So starting in the late 90s, you start to have these proliferation of really small breweries. And through the late 90s into the early 2000s, they're making really good beer, and it's really more or less serving local markets. Capital was doing a great job serving the Madison area and the west side of Madison. New Glarus was kind of southern Wisconsin. Lakefront was the Milwaukee area. Central Waters sort of had the middle of the state along with Point. And so, they're really serving local niche areas. And then in the early 2000s, New Glarus, Spotted Cow in particular, starts blowing up. It starts showing up on every tap handle in the state. You'd be hard pressed to walk into any bar in this state and not see Spotted Cow on tap. And so what started happening is you had this, these breweries were starting to push out of their own little local niches, and people were starting to say, oh, I'll have that New Glarus beer. And these are people up in Toma and Tony, Wisconsin, drinking a beer from New Glarus. Most of them couldn't find New Glarus on a map, but they're drinking beer from there.